Hello, everybody. Welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report. I'm John, here with Kaiser right behind me on the sofa. And we're here to wish you a beautiful coming weekend. It is Friday here in East Tennessee, a beautiful day, severe, clear, flying skies today, if you're so inclined. And it's going to be a beautiful weekend. No rain in the forecast until the beginning of next week. And we're looking forward to a little moisture here and there. There's a lot that has transpired in the last couple of weeks, and in some cases causing some discontent among certain individuals that are not happy with the way things are going. They're not happy with the fact that most of this country is still very upset over the attempted or the assassination, political assassination of an individual in Utah, which there will be a memorial service for, I understand, tomorrow, that will be attended by a lot of the dignitaries, as they want to be called, that will, and all of the Kirk family will be present for that. And my only hope and prayer is that civility reigns during this beautiful celebration of Charlie Kirk's life. And I hope and pray that the Republican side of people here, or the MAGA individuals that may be in attendance, keep a civil tongue when they're speaking of their opponents on the left side that may not be going along with the advent of changes around this country that have taken place as a direct result of the murder and assassination of this 31-year-old young family man. We were quick to call the illegal immigrant the Baltimore or the Maryland family man. We whipped up people to a point where they even traveled down to El Salvador to salvage this individual. But in some cases, it's upsetting to some because no one on the left side felt the impact of what took place in Utah during that time just recently. It seems that the upset on the right is coming from the left side caring more about the firing of Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel than they did about an assassination of a person who tried to bring God, prayer, and common sense back to the campuses of our universities and colleges, not only here but throughout the world. This is upsetting to some, and people have a common thread of lashing out and verbally abusing others in the wake of this tragedy. My fervent prayer is that our president will not use this in the wrong fashion. It's a hard thing to have to live with. I myself will not be watching glued to a TV during this celebration of life that will take place. I can only hope, because mainstream media will run with every word uttered, And if they find that the words are rhetoric, as they want to say the right is guilty of, which in some cases they are. The left is very guilty of this, and so are some on the right. All the rhetoric needs to come to an end. And we all need to pay attention to the words that we use that could be construed as hate, division, or racial. And this should not come from our White House. We know the wrong was committed. We know the person supposedly or allegedly responsible is in custody. Let the courts decide, and a jury of his peers decide what needs to be, and let it alone. Live with the memory of a person that you may have cherished his words or was a fan or a friend. Live with those memories. Do not throw fuel upon a fire that will engulf an entire country, and in some cases parts of the world, into doing more harm than good. Fall to a knee and say a prayer. Say a prayer for Charlie Kirk, for the repose of his soul, and say a prayer for all of those who have been affected by the death of this young man. But do not drum up bad behavior and use this and this man's death as an excuse for bad behavior. And with that, we'll take you into the daily Kaiser Report, the end of this week. It is the 19th of September, Friday, and we watch every day on all of the mainstream media, on platforms such as this here on YouTube, and of course Rumble and other areas that you can go into, Truth Social and the like. They're all watching the left try to eat their own now over this Kimmel firing and just any excuse they have. They are leaderless right now in the Democratic Party. They have people in the Democratic Party that you'll see here later that is so far past their sell-by date that they're not believable any longer. And we all know now, we've been exposed to the truth of all the cover-ups, all of the lying, and everything that has been put forth by not only the Democratic Party, books written by Kamala Harris, books written by news people that claim that they were not aware that the president had a cognitive problem for 4 years. And now they want to make money on the books that they write. They want you to believe that they're innocent in having any part and parcel to what they had to say for 4 years. But let's take a look at the left eating their own.
just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Life has killed the tree.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. God have mercy on your soul.
That's fucking good.
It's funny in some cases and sad in others, but there we go. All of this taking place here, the president has a lot on his plate. President Trump is playing a critical game of multi-level chess here and winning in most cases at it. But if you stop and think about it, you have the Russia-Ukraine, you have the Israel-Hamas situations going on, a drug war against the Venezuelan shippers that are bringing fentanyl and worse into our country, killing millions of Americans. He's got all of this on his plate, along with a broken Congress that will not see fit other than continuing temporary resolutions in getting our government back on track and getting a hold of the massive spending that Schumer came out the other day and wants to put into this omnibus bill that they need to pass. It is putting millions back into programs such as PBS and things of that nature that have been proven harmful in the past and a waste of money. They want to put in millions and millions more into social programs that are failed social programs. They're holding up the progress that we so badly need in this country to get our economic situation back into balance and some sort of accountability for where our tax dollars are being placed. What are they being spent on? They want to put more money back into the canceled DEI programs that existed under the tutelage of a failed administration called the Biden-Harris administration. The Build Back Better and Spend More Money administration. Congressional spending is out of control. We know that, we see that, and we understand. Congress is the one that is holding things up. The House Speaker was out yesterday talking about why we're going to have to do a temporary to keep the government open. It is not the Republicans that are trying to shut down your government. It is purely the leftist Democratic end of their party that is holding out. Then you have some Republicans on the right side of the aisle that are going along with it because their pork will not be stuffed into another spending bill without accountability. This is what's taking place in our Congress today. But this multi-level chess game that is going on is affecting the entire world. There are things going on in Russia. There are things going on in the Ukraine, Germany, Poland, which could be the advent of a third world war, if not for the efforts being put forth by this administration to bring peace one more time to an entire continent, let alone our country here. It's a massive job that this man has on his plate, and he has to do this job every day while fighting against his own congressional people that will not work with this administration to make this country great again and keep this country as great as it always has been. Why we want to destroy a single man that is hated as much as the politicians hate Donald Trump is beyond understanding for most people. But there it takes place, day after day in front of your very eyes, aided and abetted by cable news networks and 3 network channels that are controlled by the FCC. The FCC has licensing rules. As a pilot, you'll not be able to fly an airplane and talk on the radios unless you have an FCC permit, which we all have. It's the same for radio and TV. The FCC controls certain aspects of these networks that should be adhered to. It has been ignored for a long time, and now when they finally decide to do something, the left is up in arms because they fired 2 late-night idiots and not pointing out the fact that their parent companies were losing millions of dollars because of their viewership failing and the cost of putting on and programming their shows far outweighed the income aspect of a business. If you have a business and you're running it without accountability and without any profits, you're not going to be in business very long. You can blame it on Donald Trump if you want to. Most of the media right now is. And it's backfired because people now will boycott Disney. They are eating their own. They continue to harm themselves more than Donald Trump ever can. They make fools of themselves and then cry when they're hauled up on the carpet to explain themselves. To make comments from a comedian about a death of an individual, I don't care how you phrase it, it's not good. Even Kaiser agrees with that. So let's take a look at Nancy the Nipper here when we talk about people that are past their sell-by dates. And why in the world are we not looking at people such as her and Adam Schiff and people that we know have committed wrongdoing in their positions in our Congress, and no one has yet to come up with even an indictment or ask for an explanation? Take a look.
I will now turn the microphone over to my friend and the strongest champion of democracy we have seen in these trying times, and that is House Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy the Nipper, she's ruthless and sly, with her dentures rattling and a gleam in her eye. She kicked Joe out with her old friend Chuck. Nancy the nipper, she don't give up.
Tell that to the Supreme Court. Tell them to the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court that decided Citizens United to undermine our democracy.
She's a drunk.
To the distinguished chair, excuse me, okay? Excuse me.
Say that one more time.
Excuse me. And here we are, and I'm honored to join, of course, our champion for all of this, Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff, as a member of the House staff of Senator Adam Schiff.
You're cut off.
Never before has this legislation been more necessary.
Let's have another round.
That's what you get with some of the people that we have elected and put in our Congress, and let's stay there until the fish started to smell. There's rot in our government. Donald Trump and his administration, left alone to do the job we elected them to do, can expose this, fix this, and it's up to us, you and I, in the voting booths, in the next election. And please, if you're not planning on turning out for the midterm elections, and you are thinking that you're not going to vote, that is a big mistake. Register, make sure you get out. I don't care if you early vote in the areas that you can, but vote. Please vote, because the life and liberty that we know and love in this country is in serious jeopardy if we let things slide back to where they were just a year ago. It's not going to be good. So we have to educate ourselves on who's running, what their background is, what their ideologies are, because we don't want any new ideologies brought into mainstream government here. We have laws, we have a constitution, and we don't need anybody bending that for a specialty thought that someone may have. So we'll take you here on an exit into Stupid Town to give you something to think about over the weekend. You may get a laugh, you may not. It may really aggravate you. But we have a lot going on, but we'll keep a short Stupid Town today. Let's take that exit.
So I truly believe that it's absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane. In general, we need to, so they were asking, are you okay? Are you okay? But literally people are posted up as it relates to Charlie Kirk. Let's also talk about the fact that to understand that that's not a thing. Literally we don't care. We don't care. Right? Literally, and let them know that, I truly believe that, hate. Let's not, really pushing for it is because they're this doesn't really subscribe to, we're hitting me, generally, problems that we want to talk about, and it's
Holy shit!
we saw what took place in Utah with Charlie Kirk. And frankly, so many of you were hitting me who is Charlie Kirk?
Well, I mean, you'd have to be living under a rock not to know.
Now we see the cancel culture is in, and not only is it a matter of people trying to get people to lose their jobs simply because I guess they're not mourning properly.
I'm gonna throw up now.
People are sick. There's something wrong with them.
I don't think I've ever experienced a press conference in which we've read text messages that are so fulsome, so robust, so apparently, allegedly self-incriminating, and yet on the other hand, so touching. With the suspect reaching out to his roommate, who is allegedly his boyfriend, who we understand, identified as male at birth, now identifies as female, and the terminology he used. He was trying to protect him. He kept calling him my love. My reason for doing this is to protect you, but also asking him to delete the messages and not speak to law enforcement. So there's this heartbreaking duality that we're seeing very tragically playing out here.
Like we're in a war right now to save this country, and so you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
Not everyone took to his words or his rhetoric. At times, they were offensive to specific communities. But with that said, this is not the time to focus on that. We are focused on this tragedy. Speaking of this tragedy, is this a moment for your party to reflect on political violence? Is it a moment for us to think about the responsibility of our political leaders and their voices and what it does to the masses as they get lost in misinformation or disinformation that turns in and spills into political violence?
I say both parties.
Is this a moment for your party to reflect on political violence?
It takes a measure of maturity to own up to faults and accept responsibility. No wonder many people find it easier to pass their faults and shift the blame on others. Blame shifters do not own up to their faults, but find it easy to blame something or someone for.
I hope you enjoyed your visit to Stupid Town today, and I wish you all a grand weekend, and God bless you all. Get out, get some fresh air, look at God's world, and thank God every day for the privilege of your life in these United States of America. And with that, stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report. We'll be back here on Monday with more of what happened over the weekend shows, and hopefully they'll all keep a civil tongue in their head during this celebration of life for Charlie Kirk. God bless you all. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye now.